I think we share something in common. We are more enriched than rich, and we have to thank the tail waggers and the purr machines, right?
That's very true. It's so very true. I love my passion, which is live like Rue, but I also have a job in pet care. And just talking to you before we started, I appreciate all you do to make sure pet care professionals have the right resources to make sure people's pets are cared for. So thank you so much for that too.
Well, we're going to have people surprise people a little bit. I know you've been head of this nonprofit Live Like Rue since I believe 2016, but what were you up to before then?
Yeah, so I've been in TV for over 25 years, and I
Wow.
recently, yeah, I started as an intern in Philadelphia actually, and really in kindergarten I knew that I wanted to be in TV, and I thought that I wanted to be on TV. Once I got to
Okay.
college, I realized, no, I don't want to be on TV. I'm awful. So I did a lot of behind the scenes work. Yeah. So yeah, after 25 years, and I know a lot of people say this, but COVID had a lot to do with it. I was in charge of 30 people, and you have to get live TV on the air, and if you're missing somebody in a spot and you don't have that person and you can't get it, it's a lot of pressure. And I think as I aged and as we went through COVID, I realized I am a stress ball every day. And then on top of that, having Live Like Rue Foundation and really dealing with a lot of sadness, unfortunately, every day, we do have wonderful moments, which I'm sure we'll get into, but it was really hard. And the stress of, I worked about 10 hours a day, 5, 6 days a week sometimes.
Yeah.
It was just a lot. And, I decided to quit, and I had a plan in place. I paid off all of my debt. I
Good.
paid my mortgage, through the end of the year. But now I'm doing Live Like full time. It's what I've wanted forever. And then I do a little bit of pet care on the side that was supposed to be a part-time job, but is a little bit more than that already. So
Well, and we've been teasing our listeners, and this show airs coast to coast on radio stations. Please, I know you've said it before, but this is important. Live like Rue. Please share the story of Roosevelt.
yeah, so 2015, it was Easter Sunday, and I walked into a very crowded Chicago Animal Care and Control. So for those of you that have local animal controls, and animal control has to take in every animal. They cannot say
Yep.
no to anybody. Um, and unfortunately, at that time, flu was running rampant in Chicago Animal Care and Control. So any dog that was pulled out of there, you could not house with your own dogs or really any other animal at
Oh,
that
yeah, no
point.
spread of contaminant, spread the flu. Yep. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. So basically, they had to go to isolation. So to pull any dog, you needed a plan. So you needed, a 24/7 vet, somebody with no dogs, or no pets really, which is unheard of.
Yeah.
So we were able, basically, so like we were going up and down the rows, just trying, we were in gowns and gloves and trying to find a dog that would be a good fit to foster, knowing that we needed to have ISO for at least 4 weeks. So Rue, his name was Cisco in the shelter. He came in as an owner surrender, and all the dogs are jumping, trying to get your attention, and he was just laying down in his cage. So we thought maybe he was sick, but we decided to take him out just because he was different than everybody else. We brought him out. He actually went to the bathroom for like 4 minutes, like literally was
Wow.
peeing for 4 minutes. So we
Did he
knew
pee
some.
longer than Tom Hanks did on uh, what's the one with the League of Their Own?
Yeah, totally, totally. It was like that scene.
Okay.
So yeah, we knew something was wrong, but we fell in love with him. I mean, he was just incredible. Um, we could tell his teeth were ground down, so we figured, his owner maybe put him in a kick crate and he was trying to get out, or he was eating rocks to survive. We didn't really know. So we found isolation. We knew he needed a dental. When he went in for that dental, once he actually did get the flu too. So once he was healthy and went in to get that dental, they unfortunately found cancer in him. And I found out actually when I was driving to work one day on 90, which if you're from Chicagoland, it's a very busy road. But I had to pull over because I couldn't believe it. I just thought, we would neuter him and this would go away, and it was, something fixable. But we decided not to do chemo because it was pretty far advanced. It was bone cancer, and pretty much we
And
gave him
how
a
old did
bucket
you
list.
think he was?
He
What's your
was
guess?
5. Yeah, so
Okay,
he
and
was
and
five.
was he a full pity, or what color was he? And
Yeah,
kind of
he
give
was
us a
a
little.
fawn pitty that actually had looked like he had sharp hay in him because he had like wrinkles around his face. I think that's why people fell in love with him too. You know, pit bulls obviously don't have the best rap all the time, and we kind of made him just like any other dog, you know, and put him out there. I mean, he stayed at the Waldorf Astoria in Chicago. They don't allow dogs over 10 pounds in there. So it was so special. He walked in, he peed on a couch. The entire staff laughed. So it was just remarkable how he drew people in. And I think too, when you see a dog that beat the odds once, you know, getting out of animal control, owner surrenders are able to be euthanized right away because the owner surrendered them. They're property of the city at that point. They don't have any time. The medical staff could take them in the back and euthanize them right away. So we were lucky that he was even still there. But then to not be able to beat the cancer, I think those are the dogs that really break my heart. That's why we always help shelter dogs and rescue dogs first, is because they've already beat the odds once, and you want to see them, you know, have some sort of life after what could be a tough life to begin with. So, but he did everything. Yeah, we went on boat rides. He loved ice cream. He stayed in, like I said, the Waldorf Astoria. We had a huge party for him when we knew his time was winding down. People were able to meet him and take pictures with him. But he really
celebrated his life. You celebrated his life. You didn't. I mean, you knew what was happening, but that's pretty hard to do, but pretty important too. When you say,
yeah, and I think that's what we preach to people. We have a support page, and a lot of people come in, and I was the same way. I didn't have an animal with cancer. I didn't, you know, a lot of people are like, I didn't even know they could get cancer. Obviously, we know that now, but people come in and their brain is spinning, and you feel like you're on an island and isolated. And I think that's what Live Like Rue does. It's not just about giving you money for an amputation or for a biopsy. It's about like, hey, we're here for you. Here's this collection of people that went through what you're going through now, and not feeling how I felt on the side of 90, crying my eyes out that I had a dog with cancer, not knowing what to do or how we were going to afford it or anything like that.
And I know that Roosevelt is the inspiration for Live Like Rue. So you started this in 2016 after having the honor of adopting Roosevelt.
Yeah, and funny because on Instagram we were making a post doing one of our bucket list items, and somebody posted Live Like Rue on there. And I still send her every t-shirt we make, every pouch we make, everything we make, because I'm so thankful to her, because it clicked in my mind like, oh my goodness, that is brilliant. Live Like Rue. And you don't have to say anything else. Like you live like every day is your last.